What's up, Agents? Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 build video. In today's video, I'm going to showcase my new best Oxidizer build. I did make one a couple of months ago, so if you want to check that one out, a link will be placed in the description. Go and have a look. I love the Oxidizer. It's one of my favorite skills in the game. When we shoot our chem launcher, we create a cloud of corrosive purple gas. Now, this cloud does unbelievable amounts of damage. You can actually kill the lovebirds in a couple of seconds if your whole team uses this setup. The damage per second in the cloud, if you stack the cloud up, because you can keep shooting your chem launcher in a single area and stack the damage up, is unrivaled. We can melt anything in the game, any difficulty. Now, this will obviously work better in more concentrated, smaller areas where the NPCs aren't going to be spread out all over the place. But with this setup, it's a bit different. I feel like it's more viable in the open world due to the fact that I can overcharge every 60 seconds. Now, this is going to be perfect because it increases the radius of the chem, or should I say the cloud. So that means the cloud will be larger, it'll do more damage, therefore melting enemies and not allowing them to escape as easy, because they do tend to run away from the cloud, but this will mitigate that slightly. So this build works in any PvE situation, solo or in a group. I've got over 120% skill haste. I can overcharge every 60 seconds. I've got the Artificer Hive to boost it further. But not only that, if we run out of chems, which we shouldn't, I can shoot them with my capacitor, which does a high amount of damage. Therefore, I can not just rely on my skills, but do damage with my weapon. So this build will work great in PvE. And I recommend you guys, if you haven't tried the Oxidizer, give it a try and utilize this build. Let's get on with the video. I will showcase the setup in full detail. Then you guys can enjoy some gameplay. So before I explain the setup or give you guys a detailed description, I want to talk about this Oxidizer quickly so you understand what's happening here. So this is not a status effect. If you put status effect on your build, it's not going to increase the damage of this thing. You need to put skill damage, damage shots out of cover, damage to armor, things like that. So put skill damage and skill haste on your gear. Don't worry about status effect. That does nothing. When we overcharge, as you can see, the radius is going to significantly increase, which is really what makes the overcharge really good. The duration is also good. Duration is something you could put on your setup through modifications, for example. That increases the amount of time the cloud will stay in its place, which is actually quite decent. The damage increase for overcharge isn't actually that powerful, but like I said, the radius is what's important. So now that you know that, let me give you guys some tricks before we go through the build. So when you are holding your gun, let's say you shoot the cloud out and the purple cloud's doing damage to Oxidizer, then you are holding a weapon. If you are holding a weapon that's got damage shots out of cover, for example, and damaged armor, which increases the damage of the chem, that's going to increase the damage. So whatever gun you're holding, you get the relevant attributes to apply to the actual chem shot. So shotguns are good. You can actually have a shotgun within sync. That would be really powerful. You can also, for example, hold the chatterbox. So the chatterbox will give you a RPM bonus when you reload when there's enemies around you. If you do that and then you shoot your chem launcher while you've equipped that weapon, you will actually be able to increase the rate of fire of the chem launcher shots, which is interesting. So this applies to pretty much a lot of different weapons in the game. So you can test for yourself and see what you prefer. So like if you're using an AR or a shotgun, rather use a shotgun due to the attributes that you get. So it really just depends on what you want. I don't focus too much on that because I would rather have the capacitor to hit harder with the gun when I'm shooting because we get more damage. So for each yellow core, we get weapon damage 7.5%, which I think is quite handy. And also we stack skill damage, but when you swap, you'll lose it. So try and keep holding this. When you shoot your chem, swap back to your capacitor, otherwise it won't be doing the damage. So you've just got to pay attention to these things when you're using this build. Otherwise, it won't really work as well as what you're seeing in the video. And also remember, my build is nowhere near optimized, so it's going to be a lot stronger if you guys optimize it. So I do recommend utilizing this. I do have the InSync talent on my pistol. Now, you can use InSync on your weapon. It's going to work great. There are many different options, but it really just depends on you and how you want to play. I've used Technician here for the damage to skill proxies and the extra skill tier. I think it's important because you might struggle to get contractors, or if you want to use Fox's Prayer, you can use Fox's Prayer. You can actually use 3 Empress here, Fox's Prayer, and contractors, because damage to armor and targets out of cover increases the damage of the chem, which is important. But for me, what I see happening is the enemies will go back into cover after diving out the way, and then I lose the buff. But the damage to armor, I seem to get more from that. That's why I'd rather stick to this and then have the Wyvern for that just straight up increase in skill damage. It's really up to you. You can decide to choose whatever you want there. But I recommend the way that I've set it up now. Most enemies have a lot of armor, and the armor is what's difficult to get through. So we can get through the armor all the time without relying on them being out of cover, for example, with Fox's Prayer. So I think the combination of 3-piece Empress, Wyvern, and Contractors is a great combo. The Acosta's Go Bag is perfect for this setup. It has skill haste and skill damage, which matches what we want. One in hand. Throwing a grenade gives us overcharge if we are at skill tier 6. I am at skill tier 6 because even though I have a red, because I've got Technician Specialization, which I do recommend, by the way, that specialization I believe is the best for this. We get a skill tier, therefore we will be at tier 6. Then we get overcharge every 60 seconds when we throw a grenade. Also, we get the Artificer Hive with Technician, which I think is important. So we also get armor kits, grenades, ammo capacity, repair skills, status effect, which doesn't help us too much. I guess the armor kit and grenade is good, but it just depends on you if you want to try this build or use this build. You do not have to. You can use perfect combined arms or combined arms, tech support for more damage when your skills kill enemies. Like, for example, I've got Murakami for skill duration and tech support. That could be an option. There is a backpack where you get 15% skill haste every time you kill an enemy. You can use that. This right here, the battery pack, perfectly calculated, kills from cover, reduce skill cooldowns by 15%. This is one of the pieces I used in my previous version. If you guys want to check that out, link in the description. This is good, but I found myself not being able to kill enemies as much as I wanted. The pros from this didn't outweigh the cons because when I did kill enemies, it was too few and far between, and it was only a 15% increase. So I really do believe now that the Acosta's Go Bag is just the way to go. But it is up to you, and it depends on your playstyle. So it's quite simple how you play with this build, but like I said, whatever weapon you're using, just pay attention to it so you know what buffs you're applying to your actual chems. So as long as you are in cover, you hide away. Glass Cannon, I do recommend. I still think it's the best to use. You don't have to go for it, but we get loads of damage from this. And there is the safety net mechanic in the game, which prevents you from getting one-shotted. And you still take so much damage even without Glass Cannon having no blues. So you might as well make use of Glass Cannon. That's what I've always said. And we're going to be hitting really hard with it as well, which is nice. So you stay in cover, shoot your chems, try and put your chems in areas where the NPCs are going to be congregating or going towards. You might struggle at first, but eventually you do get used to the behavior of the NPCs or the enemies, and you'll be able to put the chems in the right places. And try not to spam them too quickly. You need to be calculated where you put them. But if they're going to be spawning out of a door, oh my word, it's perfect. You can absolutely destroy enemies so quickly. It's so satisfying. So let's go through the build from the top. I've got Capacitor for more weapon damage, more skill damage. It works really well. It hits hard. I love this gun. You guys know it by now. Lefty shotgun, because I'm throwing grenades, I can make use of perfect sledgehammer, which gives us a load of damage for this build. So make sure you try this. There are many different options. Chatterbox, shotgun within sync, ARs, SMGs, whatever you want. Like I said, just pay attention that it does affect the chem launcher. Then the pistol with in sync, if I run out of ammo or whatever happens to me, I've got an extra skill tier. You could swap this out for another pistol. It doesn't matter. I don't really use it too often. Then 3-piece Empress. Empress is perfect for this build because we get skill health, damage, and efficiency, which is also damage, haste, everything. Duration, which works well with this build. Like I said before, skill damage, skill haste, and skill duration are the 3 most important attributes. I haven't really spec'd into skill duration, but you can. It's very, very powerful because it allows the chem shot to last longer. So 3-piece Empress is perfect. Every single piece is skill haste and skill damage. Every single modification is skill haste. You can go for duration, but I recommend skill haste. It depends on you. If you're a player who shoots one chem and lets it sit for a while, duration's better, but haste is going to be perfect if you want to be spamming it like I kind of do. Because, you want to be stacking them on top of each other as well to dish out more damage in that area. Then Wyvern for skill damage, Contractor's Gloves with skill damage. This gives us multiplicative damage to armor, which does apply if you have it on your gun, don't forget. And I haven't used Contractor's Gloves because they're going to be in cover a lot, so I didn't really feel like that was worth it. You can go for that though. Simple, skill haste, skill damage on this. You guys can see the attributes. This comes with the same, which is nice. I love this setup. Is one of my favorite builds to use in the game. So the Artificer Hive buffs the chem, and you don't have to drop it on the floor or throw it. So I think it's definitely worth it. That's why Technician is, I would say, the best choice here, really. Then the chem itself, make sure you guys go for extra ammo, +1, and then damage increase. It's up to you though. Statistics, have a look, pause the video, and enjoy the gameplay, guys. Make sure to leave a comment down below what you think. Do you like the chem launcher? What setup are you going to be using? What variation? Don't forget to adapt the build to suit your own playstyle. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video. Peace out.
All right.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Fucking agent is back! Move your ass! Killer hawk!
Serious trauma detected.
Target.
Enemy flanking!
System back online. Serious trauma detected.